Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Clangin and Bangin with Mikey, episode 112. I know I said last week that I was gonna have a couple guys on in a couple weeks. I'm still I gotta work on the questions and everything, so I still gotta do that and everything. But they are coming, so and they are busy, so we're gonna try to fit this in around their schedule. Word of the day is to oppugn, man. It means to complain, criticize, means to assign, complain, and criticize by action. Basically means people are gonna find fault in what you do. It doesn't matter what it is. And that topic, that word today, impugn, is it's such a great thing to jump into because there's a lot of people out there who will do certain things just to get a reaction out of you. Whether it's the ex-girlfriend who constantly texts you, who thinks you guys are friends or whatever it is, um, or whether it's you hanging out with this girl or this guy, and they tell you that they're not ready to date or whatever it is, and you continue to talk to them like like it's going somewhere, but it's not. And so that word impugn means to not just criticize but to take action too, because a lot of people will take action in certain situations where it's not even warranted, where it's not even justified. Put it that way. I had this one girl that you know I was seeing in the gym, and I would compliment her on on her weightlifting goals or whatever it is. I said, yo, well, and she was a wellness competitor. Anybody who knows, the bodybuilding and the categories. For women, there used to be bodybuilding, but now they don't have that. But now they have bikini, they have figure, they have wellness and whatnot, right? So like she would come in and like she already had a great physique, she just didn't know how to build upon it. And I would see her in the gym, be like, hey, what's up, how you doing, yada yada yada. I try to be friendly with the people because I don't really talk in the gym, so when people see me, I kind of have this blank stare in my face. I kind of just zone in, do my thing, and leave, right? And so I was like, and I remember one day I said, yo, what, your glutes are really looking big, well, they're actually looking really, really good. It looks like a miniature dump truck back there. And anybody who knows wellness girls is like, that's the compliments that they want to see. I mean, or that's the compliments that they want to hear. Like, because nobody comes into the gym and moves the weight that we move just to move it. I mean, like I don't want to say that we're doing it in vain, but we're doing it because we want people to notice. And it was real funny because I guess she was dating this one dude, or she was kicking it with this one dude, and he thought it was more than what it was, and I'm like, it's not. And it's crazy because a lot of people would say the same thing to her. It's like, yo, well, you looking really good, this and this and that, because she was, like. Like we're not gonna sit there and bullshit you and tell you that you don't, that you look amazing if you don't. I mean, I, I've never been one to blow smoke up people's ass. Not gonna start now. And yeah, man, I think a lot of people will criticize you based off what they can't do or they can't do as well. Um, my per se or my thing is always gonna be music. And people can criticize because I make different type of genres, different type of beats. The one thing I've realized in my journey of doing this, because I've been making music since I was what 18, 19, 20 years old, and I'll be 35 this year. So I've been doing it for a minute. Of course, I took breaks in between, which I wish I wouldn't have, but it is what it is, right? I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that when people criticize you, what they're telling you is that they can't see themselves doing it, so they want you to be stuck in the same situation that they're in. And even when it comes to moving to a different state, a different job, or whatever it is, people will find faults, in that particular arena or that particular position that you're in, you know. And it's like, you really gonna sit there and criticize people? I just never understood that. And it took me a long time to unlearn that behavior. Because when you, partly because I grew up around it. Um, I was always told by family and sometimes friends, that I wouldn't be nothing, or that, what I'm doing is a waste of my time, you know, and it just made me think of something, man. I was 18, 19 years old, freshman in college, true freshman in college, and I came home from, I think I was coming up from work, coming up from school one day. I don't know where I was, right? And my dad wasn't the most supportive guy ever. He wasn't. Just keep it a buck. In order to get to my room, end of the hallway, I gotta walk past my parents' room. Walk past my parents' room. Then my dad just said something, and I remember it clear as day. He said, "I don't know what you're going to college for. You just be wasting your time." And it took me like a couple seconds to process this, right? And I was like, "What? No, what are you talking about?" And like, I thought I misheard him, right? And he said it again, and that's when I knew that it was jealousy speaking from him, through him, to me. That was his wounded inner child speaking to me. And it's crazy because there were so many things I wanted to tell the dude, when he was alive. I never got a chance to. And it kind of eats away at me, man. It really does, because it's like, as a father, you know, you want your sons or your daughters to have better opportunities than you had. You want your offspring to be better, do better, have to have a wider scope of things available, or experience things in a more positive way. Because I'm gonna tell you one thing, man. The world's a fucked up place. The world is a place that will eat you up and spit you out, and if you're not ready for it, man. And it's a really, really scary thing that can, that can happen to people, and I think at the end of the day, and this is where me being naive or me not knowing any better, I don't want to say that my dad meant it, because I truly believe where when people say things, they mean it, regardless of what they of how it comes out or whatever it is, but that shit hurt, man. And I believe it was out of the blue too. I was, yeah, and and yeah, man. I think facing criticism, like that, or facing negativity like that, when number one, I'm already disabled. I got that going against me. You know what I mean? I wasn't really academically that strong in school anyway. I mean, I wasn't stupid, but it would take me a while to get concepts down and everything too. And school for me, man, um, while it was fun, it was challenging at the same time. When I say that, because it's like I had so much shit going on in my life, from ages of 18 to 24, or there's a lot of growth, a lot of pain in between that 6 years of post secondary schooling. And I think at the end of the day, not having that support from the main person who I thought would have supported me. Um, I remember telling myself one day, like, yo, if I ever have kids, or become a stepdad or whatever it is, I'm never ever gonna tell the kids I'm taking care of, whether it's a blended family or whether I do have kids of my own, is like I'm never gonna tell them what what I was told. Um, I'm never gonna have them doubt their self confidence. I'm never gonna have them think that they're not good enough to do something, because you are. And I believe everybody has a gift. Everybody has something that they bring to the world that makes them unique. Whether you find it at age 15 or 50, I don't care. It's something to me that everybody should tap into what they're good at. Whether it's motivational speaking, whether it's music, whether it's bodybuilding, whether it's being a helpful individual, it doesn't matter. And I think a lot of people, they're just so stuck on what they can't do. They don't realize what they can do. And what they can do is a lot greater than what they can't do. See, the difference is that when you're told that you can't do something over and over and over and over again, what's the first thing that happens? You start believing it. And even if it's not true, even if it's not, remotely true in that aspect, in that way, because, you know, if I've had people tell me, well, I believe you can't do X, Y, and Z. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. That's your opinion, and your opinion has nothing to do with me. If that's what you believe, that's fine. I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not gonna debate with you. I'm not gonna, try to change your mind, because if you believe that, then it is what it is. That means you've always thought that, and that's different between excuse me, between being critical of somebody and understanding that they could have done a better job. Um, Me for one, I'm not really super business savvy or anything like that too. But the one thing about me that I do pay attention to is presentations, or how things are asked, or how things are told. And and I have been in meetings where I've experienced certain individuals that aren't well prepared, because instead of them asking me questions, they're asking everybody else questions around me. And where, if you want the answer from the source, go talk to the horse, right? You know, um, if you want the 100% truth, 100% honesty, go talk to the horse's mouth. Because I'll give it to you. And but that's different though, because you've had time to prepare and everything too, and you know obviously didn't nail it. I mean, like, or you didn't do a good enough job. Because the one thing with business in general is, like, you never want to leave the business meeting with more questions than answers. Like, you want to have a presentation so concrete out, so just nailed out, boom, 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 bullet point after bullet point, that there's no questions that can be aroused after that. And partly that comes with being confident. That comes with being understanding what you what you're trying to sell, what you're trying to pitch. Because it's like, um, but going back to my dad, man, that was it was a really really weird childhood. And I don't mean weird by anything like that. I'm just saying in general, because it's like, some days I didn't know what would piss him off, or what would um some days I would wake up in the morning, and I would have to gauge how the day would go. I remember one time, I must have been about 7 or 8, and maybe a little older, maybe 9 or 10, and the dad was taking up the trash, right? And so he had the trash bag in the kitchen, and we all had individual trash bags in our rooms, and so I grabbed the trash from me and my brother's room, grabbed the trash from the bathroom, and I grabbed the trash from somewhere else, right? Yeah, yeah, from the bathroom, from the bedrooms and the bathrooms. So, and I didn't tie the bags together, but um, I remember putting the loose garbage, and it was just a bunch of crumped up papers and everything into the bigger trash bag because that's we was taking out the trash. And it was a Sunday morning, and so, and I'm doing what I was told. So getting in there, and I was trying to push the remaining garbage into the bag so it can all fit. So it all the garbage can fit. And so when I got and I don't know what happened or what it is, but my dad snapped at me, and my dad said, he said like, yo, like, what are you doing? This and this and that. Can't you see it doesn't fit? I'm like, and mind you, I'm 8 years old, so I don't really know any better. All I'm doing is trying to help. I'm trying to help the best way I can, and I just remember feeling helpless, and not helpless in a way of like I couldn't help myself. Like helpless meaning like dumb. I felt stupid because here I am, trying to get, trying to help or trying to do what I'm told, and I'm trying to do it the best way I can. And remind you, I'm 8 years old at this point, and I just didn't understand. It's like why he was so mad all the time. I didn't understand why he was so upset, and like I said, like academically, I wasn't stupid. I just wasn't challenged. I, you know, I wasn't really I wasn't straight A's or whatever it is. I was more like C's, B's, C's, and D's. But it's like if I really applied myself, I probably could have got honor roll. I probably could have went. I probably could did a lot of different things, man. But yeah, I always, and I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Most men, believe it or not, we search for that approval from our dad, and if we don't get it, we start doing things that that um not that are not out of character, but we start doing things. Okay, like if I can't do it this way, I'm gonna do it a different way. And that's how I picked up bodybuilding. And long story short, I still have all the weight equipment that I had back then too. So went out one day, Thanksgiving break, bought weightlifting equipment, and every day come home from school, lift, you know, come home from school, lift. And I remember I was into weightlifting so much that I tried to get my dad to come with me one day, or or just to come work out. And so he came home from work one day and he saw me bench pressing, and the first thing he says, like, and it was 185 on the bar, and I was, back then that was heavy to me. Now, now I'm like whatever, it's nothing. Um, and so he sees me struggling on it, and the first thing he says is and I complete the rep, and the first thing he says, instead of saying "good job, son," keep at it, he goes, "That's not even a real rep. That's not even clean." And I'm like, "Damn, Pop, you just pulled up like 30 seconds ago. Like, what the fuck? Why are you coming at me like that?" And so when I look back in the word of the day, you know, the only thing I can think of criticizing wise is him, man. It's like I don't hardly ever remember him ever be saying, "I'm proud of you," keep it up, whatever it is. I don't remember him saying that. I really don't. And I told myself as I've gotten older, it's like, yo, if I ever have kids, bro, I'm never gonna be nothing like him. Of course, I'm gonna push my kids to be better and better and greater than I was. You know, better and greater than me and their mom was or whatever it is. It's like, but I'm always gonna be that sense of support that they need, because I know what it's like not to have that. I know what it's like to not to have that approval from somebody that you wanted so desperately from. And it really fucked me up a lot, because it's like I just, instead of me going out there and doing the best I can, I was always worried about failure. I was always worried about, you know, what I had going on, or how it would impact me. And a lot of the times I wouldn't even do it because I was so afraid of the outcome of the criticism of not being good enough for a particular individual, man. So as I gotten older, I've gotten wiser. I've realized that, yo, it doesn't matter. All that matters is basically you doing what you're able to do in a way that you're able to make it possible for you to be successful. So this is 20 minutes of your life that you won't get back. Hope y'all keep it in the 4 piece, private player, positive pushing. I'll see y'all next week. I love y'all. Ghost, like I always say, know your worth. Peace.